Okay, so we talked a lot about what doesn't work and what makes the MPCP work and solid, and what the principles are that run against that you want to avoid. So now let me translate that into the actual plan in building the business. What I'm going to do is basically go through how I built the company, how we build the business, and the basic binomial or binary strategy that's very simple and over a 2 to 3 year period can end up providing you a tremendous residual income. There's no tricks to it. The only trick that I know is getting people to convention and the big events as a shortcut. But the rest is fundamentals, the basic five, and making sure that there's a retail base and then getting them on the shopping annuity so that there is regenerated volume at every level. So when we start out in the MPCP and the UBPs or the business presentation, we talk about applying. And of course, I'll tell you the truth, that's really the second step in the plan for me, because I want to qualify them and test it out and start to generate some BV so that it's really not an issue when they do apply or sign up or register. But at any rate, the business really begins with creating Bv and Ibv. And I talked about this a lot, that it's that solid building block of each unfranchised owner, each BDC having a solid retail base. And, you know, of course, personal use and shopping and customer sales and auto ship programs, one-to-one marketing, all these methods and things that we have make that easy. So you just have to do it. So we create BV. It must be created and regenerated by each UFO by retailing for the plan to work. That's rule one. You're not going to do that. You're trying to find a way around it. You're building on sand. So it can't be unencumbered volume, and the BV may not be placed downline except when approved, or that means it was sold, and 30% can be used or consumed. Shopping annuity members can replace everything that they currently buy now by switching to MA brands, and in the shopping annuity, save money and convert spending into earning, but they must meet the retail activity requirements first in the plan. That makes it solid. So that's not complicated, is it? That's the basic building block. So when you do that right, yeah, we have cashback to get more customers. It's there. But no one placed the volume in the BDC. A while back, people were actually being qualified by people placing volume in the BDC, and they didn't even do step two. I mean, it really undermined the plan. We had to stop that. But no one placed the volume in the BDC. Step two of the plan, they created the BV by using the product and selling it to 2 to 10 real customers that they know. No big deal. Okay. Secondly, they sold through the product to the customer and made retail profit, which basically puts them in the black. They're making money. It paid the way to start the business. And three, there's no problem with Form 1000 or the 70% rule. You have retail receipts. It's all taken care of automatically. And then you even have the option of registering the customers as PC to protect your interests, and the company fulfills the orders, credits the retail volume, validates Form 1000, eliminates the need for inventory and shipping product or collecting payment. I mean, it's just great. You have the option of delivering the product yourself if that works better for you. But fundamentally, we have built a solid unfranchised retail base producing 200 BV. So we're qualifying in that step. And that can be done by buying the product and selling it, but you have to sell through the product, or by taking orders. So you can take orders from customers online, purchasing a fast start kit of products of your preference and selling through the products over 1 to 3 months and collecting receipts for Form 1000, and no one else does it for them. and you can't do that for someone else. That goes back to what I was talking about earlier. Those are the things that violate the principles of the plan. This is solid building block of the business, and you put in place a solid foundation. What's so complicated about that? So you add the shopping annuity to the foundation of the program, for the savings, the benefit of that new UFO, and they just start accumulating IBV as part of the process, and it adds a BV to the program, requiring only 1/4 of the people to hit a check or to max out. So it just makes a lot of sense to integrate that into the program from the beginning. Then one qualifies by creating BV from retail and selling product at a profit and buying Market America products to use at wholesale. At wholesale, that's a big advantage, as well as changing the way they shop by ordering it online at shop.com. Now, what's so complicated about that? Simple. Just follow the system. Okay, so as we build, there's certain functions that we want to make sure are in place so that that UFO succeeds and duplicates the fundamental process that allows us to build a giant business. So you got the Getting Started guide, they use the product, they develop customers, they sell through 200 BV, they meet the retail requirements, they have receipts for Form 1000, they've adhered to the 70% rule, they do the shopping annuity assessment, they take the steps to set up the back office and the administrative details that need to be taken care of, they're out of the way, they make a possibility list, and they work with a team to expose the business over 2 weeks to see if people know the right people. They get people to lead the people. They go to the GMTSS events and sell tickets, and they master the basic 5. That is having an unfranchise, not signing up and doing nothing, not placing BV for them. It's just real simple. It's the fundamentals of the business. It's a real business. It's not a game. It's not a fast, make money fast scheme. It is a real profitable business that can last forever. So we got to do it right. So you open your business by becoming a master UFO. That's the threshold that I look for. Why? Because there's fundamental things that you have to be doing to even have a business, to even be open. Somebody can sign up, but if they're not a master UFO, they don't even have what's necessary to be building customers and bringing on new UFOs to make it happen. So we do a trial run and we sponsor with a sponsor and a senior partner. We show the UBO, we use product and we share product, we attend meetings, we're you go through the Getting Started guide, we have a possibility list, we read the career manual, we learn the requirements, we set up the back office, we show the UBO to others to see if they qualify or know the right people, and that's how we start to build an organization. Now look, you can make hundreds of thousands of dollars at this business. It's a real business. What is so difficult about that? It's not a game. It's a business. And you didn't have to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for it. So let's treat it like a real business. No one can do the business for you, and you cannot do the business for someone else. They can only do it with them and assist. We're in business for ourselves, but not by ourselves. There's no absentee ownership. Activity is required. Okay? I mean, I don't know what people expect. You sign up and I make $109,000 a year. I mean, it's absolutely crazy. It's such a realistic and solid program. You just have to follow the steps. No absentee ownership, activities required, we work in teams, and you are in business for yourself, but not by yourself. And there's a management responsibility by the people getting credit for that volume above, the sponsor all the way up to the executive coordinator and above, to make sure that these things happen. That's what you're getting paid for in the management performance compensation plan. Okay, so we talk about placement of volume as we start to build and add people, okay? I talked about when this is right and when this is wrong. So you may be working down the left leg, building it on the bottom, And I gave you some examples of this. And when an order is placed and you place it at the bottom, you're holding meetings there. BV can be placed in BDCs of individuals that you have personally sponsored that are on transfer buying and have met the requirements. So they're producing. And you are personally working with them and holding meetings, showing the plan, doing the ABC pattern. They're close to a bracket and they're climbing, and it's happening. So balancing the leg and hitting a check to be recognized and showing some success when we're all working together, okay, is legitimate. You know, it can be rationalized. But usually I don't even tell them that I place the volume below them because I don't want there to be an expectation. I don't want to make them feel like they did it. But that's when it makes sense. It doesn't make sense, and you need to explain to me why it would be beneficial for it to be placed in two places at the same time. Here is how the business really works. We duplicate from the bottom up and get people earning. You build your 001 first and max it out. As we work down the left side and the right side, we want to first max out and hit the cycle out 5 and 5. And really the first goal is professional coordinator. Because if you're doing 5 and 5 per week and cycling weekly on one center, that adds up to way over $4,500, $6,000 to $7,000 volume. So even if you don't hit every week, you're way over. But the way you do that, I always say, we must succeed so that other people realize their dreams. By making it all about the other person earning and working to get them to earn, okay, you automatically earn. So the methodology is to find somebody who's go now and ready on the left side and somebody on the right side and work down those two legs, okay? And I really believe that you can build two legs with somebody, especially when it's in one city, okay? But at least one leg, and you engage the help of your teammates upline and the people below as teams and start building below them, building a solid retail base every step of the way, until I have somebody earning on the left and somebody earning on the right and automatically maxing out my 001. So this is simple binomial strategy. We derive a solid weekly $1,500 per week income from Bv by getting one or more UFOs at the executive coordinator level, cycling, earning $1,500 per week, and then you get a leadership bonus at $2,100 per week. So if that's happening every week, you're just about a supervising, coordinator. So we always solidify the 001 first by getting 2 UFOs earning weekly on each side. This is a solid foundation. They're all built and based on retail, block by block, like I showed you. And we solidify it downline by getting more people earning. This is the minimum that you would want to have to secure that 001, so that $109,000 to $187,000 is forever. I'd like to do it right so I don't have to do it again. So then you and your team can go downline and accelerate this with downline placement of personally sponsoring. And it's all vertical, it's below, in this example, Chris, and then we do HPs and everybody benefits and we're all working together. Okay, so it's simple, it's the fundamentals of the business. So fourth step is that we work downline and hold meetings and help people grow, and we start new UFOs that are also retailing, and downline generated Bv and Ibv from doing that work is downline placement. It's vertical multiplication of income. So that's what we want to be doing. fundamentally, you and your team with Mark in the one situation, or the person, the personal trainer, or Ann and Ben, you're working down below them, building from the bottom up. Okay, so if you understand that, we solidify the 001 first. Once your 001 is solid from repeat and new retail sales from the bottom up, and is cycling and earning every week with one or more solid UFOs earning weekly, just like you are, you can open your inside legs that are already half built. Isn't it remarkable that by doing that right, you've done half of the 002 and 003. So if that's solid, you can go on and build one leg at a time and double and triple your income. So if you built the 001 and 002, solid from the bottom up, going through the steps that I just discussed, which are no big deal, it's going to last and it's going to duplicate. So I don't see how that even involves downline placement. But now that we have a solid 001 and we have other people earning checks, okay, we can look to open the inside legs. So I put in Kristen in this example. And, we build the retail first from the bottom up, and then we help her sponsor. We don't send her out to do it on her own, okay? And then later I can do it once I have solidified Kristen's leg and earning on the 002. I can do it the same thing under the 003 to earn 3 times the income by building 2 more legs. So let's go through it step by step. Okay, first you qualify by retailing, doing the shopping annuity, becoming a MUFO, a master UFO, doing the basic fundamental things that you need to be doing to grow the business. If you're not doing those things, you're not open. You may have signed up, but you're not open. And so you have a list of 100. You do, like I talked about at convention, 2 per week. Just call 2 people a week to get them to evaluate it to see if they know the right people. That'll add up over 52 weeks to 104 people that saw the plan, and you're going to have 8, that, even if you're not good at it, you're going to have 8 per year that want to do the business, that are going to become go-nows. And so what about activation? Why is activation important? We're not going to stop sponsoring. The plan was actually designed not to have to do it laterally. But if all other programs are based on doing 6, 10, 12, 20 wide, why can't you do 4 to 8 vertically? The plan was designed to handle them. It doesn't mean that we stop working. You open any business. You don't take the first 2 people in the door as your vice presidents on a sports team. You don't take the first 2 people that walk on the field. You go through tryouts to find the best people. So activation, is an important step, but it's not just about sponsoring 2. One needs 2 legs, not 2 people. 2 legs in order for the plan to work for them mathematically. And that's the lowest number that you could ever have a multiplier effect to earn a residual income, especially 6 figures. It's unheard of. But that doesn't mean that you stop doing the result-producing activity of downline placement. That's what downline placement is, of sponsorship. That's what drives the business more than any other single factor. And as we do downline placement of sponsorship, we're adding another retail generator. Okay, so the volume goes into the 001 of the BDC that one is building in order for the binary or binomial system to pay them. They need to be a multiplier of 2 at the apex BDC, which in this case is yours, filling the banks on both sides so that they have all contributed to the creation and production in order to be deemed not being passive legally. So that's why you have to sponsor too. You have to add to the enterprise, and the money you make has to be based on your productivity, and that's why it's there, a legal reason and a business reason. But it doesn't mean that that's all we do. It's like getting up the bat and getting a hit and never getting up the bat again. Just because you hit the ball and got to first doesn't mean that hitting is over. I don't know how else to say it. You want to get back up the bat again and knock it out of the park or get another hit. So the second step is to personally sponsor 2 to 4 people, do a trial run, the ABC pattern, all the things that we talk about over and over and over and over again. Why? Because that is the business. And you build retail repeat customers with each and start them on the shopping annuity. So what about activation? The only reason we have activation is we're now going to be building the business. Okay, you did a trial run, you tried it out, you qualified, and now we're going to start holding meetings, helping other people retail, and building the business in the ABC pattern below them. We want you to be accruing credit for that and being able to get paid as we do it. It has nothing to do with I got 2 and I stop. No, you got 2 because you need 2 legs to even earn in the plan. So now that we have 2 and you're qualified, we're going to work downline of that. Where does the logic come that we don't sponsor anymore? Activation is only about the ability to earn checks. It's not about productivity or building. Okay, the concept of retailing and sponsoring continue on beyond activation. To me, activation is funny. Someone says, "Oh, I activated." Oh, wow, it's over. I mean, it's kind of like in a race car, being in a race, and you know the gun sounds, and you rev up, and you wheel out, and you stall out. That's the worst thing that you could do, stall out, right? And by not continuing sponsoring, it's analogous to that. So the model is all about duplication and now building 2 sales and distribution organizations. The UFO, which now is you, is in partnership with their sponsor and upline senior partners to do this. We do it as a team. No one's going to do it for them, but we'll do it with them. And the UFO may have earned from retail, but is earning nothing at this point on group-generated accumulated volume. Activating allows them to do that as we build. As we move through the commission pay thresholds at $1,200, $2,400, $3,600, we want you to be able to get credit for that and get paid on it. That takes work and time. And so you're now in position to earn as we build that. The objective of activation is to allow the UFO, you in this illustration, to get credit for the new sales from qualifying and retailing with new UFOs added below. In this case, Mark and Kate. But the purpose of the step of activation or being active does not mean one personally sponsors only 2 people and then they're done sponsoring. It's a minimum threshold to allow accumulation and earning as we build it. But sponsoring is a continued activity that's the lifeblood of the business and allows people to earn faster and to max out faster. So, I mean, I'm actually considering, this has become such a middle block and such a roadblock and such a bad habit I'm trying to figure out what can I do. Why do people think that after I sponsor 2, I'm done? No, you're in the game now. You're in the race. So now we do that result producing activity. Maybe we should have incentives and requirements to continue sponsoring, just like retail requirements. And as one builds the business and the mindset and behavior, it does not follow the design of the plan. That mindset is, I did 2 and I'm done. No, you did 2 and you began. So, you know, now I know I scared you all. Well, you know, all you have to do is keep sponsoring. So we're building both legs that way. Number 3, personally sponsor 2 to 4 people, build 2 legs at once. It's very easy to build 2 legs at once. You can do combinations, cross-pollination, okay, have teamwork, different people holding meetings, duplicate on the bottom level, not the top down, but everybody's working on the bottom level. And right now, there's no downline placement necessary of BV. Why would there be? I mean, you explain it to me. There is no need. We're generating BV. We're generating UFOs. So it's all about teamwork. We hold a lot of UBPs, HBPs. Okay. 4, we keep sponsoring. We're building 2 legs at once, balancing the sponsoring and building until 5 and 5. What is balancing? When one leg gets ahead of the other, I don't stop working the leg that's ahead, but I focus more on the leg that's behind. And I get other team members and upline to work with me to build that leg. That's how we did it. That's how we've always done it. That's what works. So we build depth. We build a taproot. So the concept is that the people that are more successful or more experienced are working downline at the bottom to build it from the bottom up. And activation is the starting line of the race, not the finish line. And the reason it is in the 3rd step of the MPCP is simply that you need 2 legs in order to get paid, and you're now going to be building the business toward accumulation of brackets for weekly commissions, and it makes sense that you get credit and accrue the volume while building the business and get paid. It's not a step taken to stop the sponsoring process. I don't know where that idea came from, but it's the beginning, and you need to get credit for it as you sponsor and build as a team in depth. And every UFO that's added by the team should be treated as if they were personally sponsored. They may end up being, but they're all your people until you're earning $3,600 or $2,100 a week. They're all your people. Any one of them could be the next director, or the next field vice president, or the next supervising coordinator. So everybody, should continue sponsoring and placing downline personally sponsored new UFOs. That's downline placement. This generates new qualifying volume. Every time somebody's sponsored, they do 200, right? They sell through it, and it starts regenerating. Then they sponsor 2 to activate, and then that regenerates volume. So this generates new qualification volume and repeat sales and the required volume. We really have this system down to science. Why don't you just follow it and do it, and you'll experience tremendous success. This is how we built the company. This is how it worked. So everyone on the team benefits and gets 100% credit without dilution for the whole year. This is a process that makes it work. So the plan was designed to change the paradigm, to change the model to vertical profitability instead of needing to sponsor 6 to 10 people that are all in competition with each other in width. But we continue to sponsor here the same way they did, but with a problem, with something that doesn't work, with something that's harder. We do it vertically. It doesn't mean we stop doing it. So I hope that you get that. So personally sponsor 2 to 4 people in a leg, the 5th step. Do trial runs, ABC pattern in each of the 2 legs. Build retail repeat customers with each, and start the shopping annuity with each UFO. Real simple steps. I mean, just do them. So what about activation? Activation is allowing you to earn all of that. It doesn't say that you stop doing it. So this is great. This really works. So we're building. You see the people are added. That increases the volume, the accrual. If everybody's sponsoring downline, this thing takes off like a rocket. And in the beginning, people earned checks a lot faster. But I was with them. I was with Elizabeth. I was with Tony and Pam. I was with Keeper. I was with Ben Ginder. I was with the leaders that you look to today that are tremendous success stories. I'm going to tell you, every time I came, they had more people. and more people. They didn't stop and rely on everybody else to do it. So now we have an organization. Number 7, we start looking at strategies, corings. What do people need the most to duplicate in each different group? Different groups need different things at different times. We do the ABC pattern, HBPs, UBPs. It all equals duplication. You're saying you know all this? Why aren't you doing it? Because if you do it, it happens like this, and you end up earning. Well, you get 4 to 8 master unfranchised owners in a leg. Why? I want solid growth. I want people to have their unfranchised or their business open and doing the fundamental things that'll generate volume and grow the business. And it's a simple measurement of the minimal things that someone has to do to really have their business open. The business is invisible. You know, you don't go in and punch a clock. You don't have an office. You don't have a store. You don't have a building. So what do you have? You have a system that works. And you need to be doing certain things and have certain things for it to work. So if you don't have them, you're not open. So I hope you get that. So we get 2 other people earning weekly with green flushes or cycling. That's the first objective. That's what we're looking for. Downline of Bv, downline placement of Bv is only in the power leg to get over a bracket like I discussed before. Why would you be putting it somewhere else? Everyone's building on the bottom level under your direction. You're the conductor of the orchestra. You're the coach. You're calling the plays, and you're making sure that every leg is covered. So 8, personally sponsor 2 to 4 more people, duplicate the ABC pattern, get 2 UFOs in each leg to earn $1,500, $2,100 a week. Now that doesn't happen overnight, but you identify the person and we work it until it happens. Now, if they don't cooperate, if they don't do their part, you're going to go deeper and find someone below them to do it with. This is how we build a business. It is a business. It's not a free lunch. It's not automatic, but it's extremely profitable. And if you do it right and work it right, it derives you a residual income for the rest of your life. So, you know, if you're not willing to pay the price or do these things, you're kidding yourself. So, you know, I'm just trying to call it like it is for you. And this is how I built the business. So you're going to go master. That's your goal. And then get 2 masters under you. But it's really professional, because if you think about it, if you qualify every week by getting 2 other people to qualify, and you're getting a leadership bonus, if that is solid, the way I just described, it's happening every week. So that's 2,100 times 4, or 6,400. That's 1,900 over the 4,500 per month for professional. So I always make professional the first goal, because you're completing 1 center and getting 2 other people to earn. So what does downline placement of Bv have to do with it now? How does that make this happen? You know, okay, so it's real simple. It's a duplication process in just 2 organizations. I'm building down a taproot line, and I might help with the second line, okay, in order to get that person to earn. You can't build much more than 2 to 4 places at once, but you're getting other people to do it, and you're directing it, and you're focusing on 2 taproots to make that 001 earn and to help them be earning weekly checks. So at the end of the day, have people shooting for pen levels, and we have a plan, a roadmap, steps. They know exactly how it's going to happen. So at this point, you've gone supervising coordinator, but how did you do that? You develop a professional coordinator on the left and the right, and under them, professional coordinators. So that's solid. You have to get people earning more money than they're willing to give up to have security or stability, okay? And they don't know how to do it, but I know how to do it. If you know how to do it, they don't know how to do it, but you know how to do it, and they got to follow your lead, and you work with them. So what does downline placement of Bv have to do with this? We're building from the bottom up. So professionals, then under them, look, I'm counting and looking at how many people that I have open for business, not how many people I signed up. What does signing up mean? But they are master UFOs, and I'm getting them on the SAM program, on the shopping annuity program, so that they grow it just like you grow up the brackets in the business from 1,200 to 2,400. It's the same thing in the SAM. It's not a one-day thing or an all-or-nothing thing. It's a process. It's basically believing in the business and building the business. And why do you do it? Because it drives the MPCP. It makes you residual income in the MPCP. It's not for free shipping. It's the business. Okay. 10. By the way, there's 15 of these things. We're almost there. Reminder, retailing and the shopping annuity every step of the way. I don't want to insert any bricks that are sand that'll crumble in my structure. I want it to be solid from the top all the way up. Downline placement only in one spot for you and anyone else who has extra retail volume. Don't buy volume in places because we're selling it month after month. We can take that extra BV and place it where it might help. So we're duplicating solid foundation of retailing and the shopping annuity from the bottom up. Do you see this? People that are open for business, that are master unfranchised owners and shopping annuity members working towards SAM, building from the bottom up. We have a solid business. We're maximizing the volume and the productivity in the plan. And so there's goals and plans for the top leaders to hit pin levels. They know exactly how they're going to do it. If the 001 is solid and the 002 and 003 weak side then can be opened so that I can hit the next level. But you only have to build one leg when we open the inside of the 2 or the 3 because I built the 001 solid, exactly like you see in this diagram. Okay, so the 11th step is to get the 002 and 003 earning weekly by building the inside leg. I only have to build one now. I built 2 solid. Now I only have to build 1 to double my income. So you get the 002 and 003 earning weekly by building the inside leg the same way that you did the 001, except you can put all of your focus and energy into one leg so that it goes faster. It's recommended that you do the weaker side first. What's the weaker side? It's not necessarily just volume. It's growth, it's activity, it's go nows. It's that the business is moving, it's growing, there's activity, and there's repeat volume. It's really a combination of those two things. So almost always, one side is stronger than the other. It's just the way the business works. So the logical thing to do is to open the inside leg on the weaker side. In this case, we're saying it's the 002. So I'm going to then start doing exactly the same thing that I did with the 001 down to 002. When the 001 inside leg is solid, you're maxed out at $2,100 to $3,600 a week on the 002. Then you can take a look at building the other inside leg, or the 003. When we do this, we're going to start exceeding $300,000 to $500,000 a year in income. That's a lot of money. And it's really difficult in this day and age in business to make that type of money. But you don't have to invest. You don't have any risk of bankruptcy. It isn't dependent on the amount of money you have. All you have to do is do it the right way and follow through. So, and it's been done over and over again. So the third, we go to the other side, the stronger side then, now that we have completed the 001, and we build the inside leg of that side. So if you follow this, you continue sponsoring. That's critical, because if you stop sponsoring, your people duplicate you. And you want everybody in that leg to be doing what you do, okay? If you don't do it, they know. So you want to keep sponsoring so that they sponsor. So now you have 5 people continue to sponsor, 10 people. You can't stop the leg when that happens. That's downline placement. Believe me, I built the business. So putting $100 or 300 BV down there and making that important is misaligned. It's not what it's about. So look at this. This is beautiful. You continue sponsoring. How many people are earning weekly? That's what I want to know. And now I'm looking for a re-entry location because my 2 and my 3 are earning weekly and solid, and I have people under them that are earning. Just like the 001, I wanted those professional coordinators that were solid, earning, so I need to do the same thing under my 1 and my 2. So it pays to be looking for a location because there may be a power leg, a common leg, that you can put the re-entry in. Nobody's going to build it for you. But if that volume goes through, then you only have to build 1 leg again in that re-entry. But I personally do steps 1 through 11 again, but with a team now. I have a team. Before I had to do it alone. But if I duplicate it properly and did it right with my people, we do it as a team, as a regiment. We know what to do, and it happens a lot faster. There's a lot more strength. So if plan carefully and the downline sponsoring continues, there should already be a power leg on one side. And if so, you only have to build 1 leg. You repeat the same process again, but focus it all on 1 leg rather than 2 legs, so you should succeed twice as fast. But now you're spread a little thin. This is when I use downline placement because I can't spend enough time with every single person. If somebody that I'm working with is close, I might put them over because it helps everybody and they earn a check, they believe, and you know that credibility and that belief can be very powerful when it's real, not when it's some facade or just giving volume away. So we have built the 002 inside and we completed it and it's solid. What is solid? That means there's other people earning weekly under it on the left side and the right side. That's when it's solid. So now that might have taken another year. You know, the first year you built the 001, second year the 002, now the third year, and you could go faster, but you know, it's not a bad pace. So now I'm going to open 003 on the other side. So what I do, number 1, I continue sponsoring. That's critical. How many MUFOs are in, master-owned franchise owners are in the leg? I need people that have open businesses. Now looking for the re-entry location and strategy. I consult with upline senior partners and the executive sales team about that. I place it where it will strengthen and balance, and there will be teamwork because you want a team doing this. Personally, do steps 1 through 11 again. Same thing, you've already done it, you know how to do it, you have confidence because it worked. And if it's planned carefully, you may only have to build 1 leg, but don't worry about that. If you have to build 2, you did it before, and it will be solid. And you may want to do that in order to balance the other side instead of doing it with a common leg. So I now have 3 centers earning every single week that have people earning under them. So I'm looking for the strategic location for the reentry. If I can anticipate it, I may be able to just have to build 1 leg in order to earn another $187,000. But the key is making sure that they're built from the bottom up, they're solid, there's regenerated volume, so I don't have to do it again. So in the 002, I built it solid. I don't have to worry about it, but there may be a power leg. And that reentry, 004, we selected the left side to go here because there's a power common leg or the right side needed balancing. That's a business decision. It's a judgment call. But you usually do it for one of those 2 reasons as a determining factor. So we continue to sponsor under the 004 and beyond just activating. You have a reentry, you have to qualify it and activate it. Sounds familiar, I've been here before. You do it the right way. Look for cross-pollination and combination opportunities between the left leg and the right leg. You're in the same town. You can combine a lot of meetings. You're in different towns. You can cross-pollinate. Support the right leg with training and counseling the leaders. You have a management responsibility, and you're earning on that volume. So remember that management responsibility and don't abandon them. So there you go. I do it with 003, the same thing that I did on the left side. I build it solid. I get people earning underneath. And as you go, you have more credibility, more power, more teamwork, more people, and you really can crank this thing out. You got momentum. It's simple. You inside, complete and solid. Right side of 001, complete and solid. 002, inside, I only had to build one leg, complete and solid. Complete and solid means retail from the bottom up and somebody else or two other people earning. So we selected the left side, to go here. And, we did it as a team, and we made it very solid. So the 004 is now my first re-entry, and we built it just like we built the 001, 002, 003, down two sides, but using more teamwork. I look for the cross-pollination situations and combinations. So if there's a common power leg down below you, you want to sponsor 4 more people in the second leg. You got lucky and you have a power leg. I'm still going to sponsor 4 people down that leg to contribute. Sponsoring people is like living. You run into people all the time. They see your lifestyle. They ask about it. You get curious about them and develop a relationship. They qualify themselves by developing the relationship and the way they respond. I'm not going to try to get them in, but quite often they might know the right people or they ask me questions. I don't know why it's so difficult. And this is where I might use downline placement. Because as I build that 004, I might have somebody in the left leg or right leg that's almost there. We're doing meetings, doing the ABC pattern, and I'll put that volume in there because I retailed it. It's my volume. I'm working with them, and they're doing the business, producing, and it helps them hit the check. So we build the 2 legs. Then we move to the other side, and we can, in the 15th step, complete and secure the 004. If it's complete and there's other people earning in the leg, I'm scouting out where I'm going to do it on the right side because I might find a place in another power leg, or I may want to balance my 003 on one side, or with that reentry. Or I might have a group of people that can work together, and it just makes sense to do it. So you do what makes sense according to the binomial and binary strategy to balance, strengthen, and take the fastest route to getting that reentry earning. And I look for cross-pollination opportunities again. When you really get a lot of centers going, there's a lot of opportunities to combine meetings, to cross-pollinate, get everybody from one town to find people in the other town that are building in. And it just maximizes the use of your time. So my second reentry on the right side, if there's a power leg, I got to build 1 leg. If not, I build the 2 legs, but I use teamwork. I have 5 legs qualifying with people underneath earning, teamwork from above, the volume from the 2 re-entries, secured or vested the income in the 002 and the 003. And the 001 is as solid as the sun rising and the moon going down. I mean, it is there. So what is so hard about that? Go get a retail business. Go get a manufacturing business. Go get a brick and mortar business. That is hard. This is reasonable, easy, but it's not a game. It does take work. And the great thing is the things that prevent and limit you from being an entrepreneur and being able to be rich or earn a six-figure income are removed here. But don't reinvent the wheel. Just follow the program. And as Kevin showed, doing it the right way, okay, makes the company strong, but the company policies, okay, support the field on franchise owners growing and earning money, and the regulations that we have to follow from regulatory law work right along with the company functions to make the business strong, to duplicate and build, and to be solid, and the unfranchised functions of what makes the business work. They work perfectly together. That's why we've been around for 27 years and have so many people earning incredible incomes. This slide summarizes all of the key principles that go together to build a solid business with Bv and Ibv from the bottom up, getting other people earning without any shortcuts, and it works. That's it. That's how I build it. That's how you can build it. Let's have a rebirth. Let's have fun. Just forget all of the cockamamie ideas and strategies and follow the simple system and start out by sponsoring some more people. New blood is what always resolves any problem. We can do it together, and we can do it right. There's no reason to reinvent the wheel. We simply have to do what works based on the principles that make the MPCP work, that allow us to break the sound barrier, defy gravity. The plan is already perfect. So let's do the things that work. As things happen that affect it, we have to make some adjustments to make it solid and to make your business grow faster and better. I would never do anything that wasn't to your benefit. So let's do it together and make it happen. Thanks for being with me.